What is going on, my fellow meanderers? If you've been on our channel before, welcome back to Meandering Outdoors. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Glad to have you. Glad you decided to click on, see what's happening, what's shaking around here. Doing it a little bit different today. So you can see we're at the homestead, aka base camp. And if you're wondering what that little green dot is, I finally remembered my microphones and got them charged up. So we're running them for the first time and see how this works out. And like I said, we're a little bit different today. We're at base camp, the homestead. We're prepping, as you know, if you checked our last video or tuned in our last episode there, that I disclosed that I'm going to be doing the Tahoe Rim Trail through hike. So figured we'd do a shakedown. What I'm taking and what the plan is and all the ins and outs. So I guess we'll just jump right on into it. As you can see, I'm sitting down. This is a sweet little backpacking chair. Just sits on the ground. Sit pad by Crazy Creek that I picked up. It's just slightly over £1. I like to be able to have something to lean into, a little back support and stuff, make taking lunch and stuff a little more cozy and just hanging out around camp. But yeah, so as far as other things inside the pack, you can see this is, old school style pack. No ultralight. I mean, I have some light gear, obviously, but I've had this pack 20 years. Got this pack and Miss Meander's pack for our honeymoon, brand new 20 years ago. It's seen a lot more use than it looks like. I've washed this thing twice and it cleaned up rather well, but I like it because I've got injuries from living a thorough life and playing very hard. So I need the extra padding and swapping out a lot of the other gear and stuff for lighter gear. Kind of stays around the same weight I've packed for quite some time. But anyhow, in the top of this pack, the Kelty backpack, like I said, this top all actually it comes off and becomes a fanny pack, so you can run day hikes, just go exploring, do a little slack packing from a base camp while you're out and about, which makes it pretty nice and convenient. But first off, I got, some snacks, and first day, I always carry the first day of food up in the top with me, just so it's easy access, not having to dig out a bear canister, because on the Tahoe Rim Trail, you have to carry a bear canister the entire way now. Used to just be desolation area, which, if you're familiar with PCT, if you've hiked the PCT or just familiar with the trail, desolation is one of the areas where you have to have a bear can. But now we have it all the way around, which is fine. I mean, there are areas where trees are hard to find to do a hang. So yeah, moving forward, Tahoe Rim Trail topo map from National Geographic, waterproof, and this one's the booklet type. So kind of each section has its own page, which is nice. You're not unfolding some big old huge thing. You can pop it out, keep walking as you're checking it out. Permits, Tahoe through hiking permit, as well as the California campfire permit. Though there are no wood fires on the Tahoe Rim Trail, you still need the campfire permit, both for California and Nevada, to run your cook stove, jet boil or whatnot. If you're into the cold soaking thing, right on, great for you. You don't have to worry about it. I like to have a warm meal every now and again. Most of everything I'm taking is pre-cooked stuff, which is great. So I really don't need to heat anything up unless I'd like to. Like I said, in the evenings, you know, my curries and stuff, I like those to be warm. So with that too, I don't have to boil water, or I just boil a little bit of water, but I don't have to filter water to cook with. I can just grab some scrungy water in my jet boil if I want, and it's just for heating. Water is not going to touch the food, so that's also a plus. We'll get back on that later though. I have a buff, various things, lightweight beanie, sun protection, face breathe, whatever, blowing my nose, all kinds of stuff, multi uses. Got 4 random zip ties that I always carry, fixing some stuff. I've got my night core. I think this is the something or other 25. Anyway, it's like 400 lumens. Does great. Love it. Lightweight. It's rechargeable, which is awesome because I bring battery units, obviously, to recharge my phone to record all the stuff for y'all. Mosquito net, head net. The little security pocket up here, lighter, full size. I just carry full size. I've got some duct tape wrapped around that. I also have duct tape wrapped around my trekking poles and Leuco tape around my trekking poles. Couple random, got some rubber bands and some all metal clothesline clips. Got 4 of those I carry so I can hang stuff up, clip it to my tent, won't get blown away to dry off if I need to. Chapstick, which will end up going in my pocket. Also has Leuco tape wrapped around the outside of that. And that's gonna do it for top pouch. Come to the outside of this thing, and in the outermost pouch I have, on the daisy chain webbing here, I've got a Metolius carabiner on there for clipping my water bladder for long carries, which there's 2 sections. I'll be doing a long carry, carrying an extra 2 liters. I always carry 2-liter smart water bottles on me. And I have the Vecto, or the Ceanoc Vecto X water bladder that I put my Sawyer filter on to filter water. I can strap that to the back because in here I also have a random just extra strap, I think. Yep, there it is. Extra strap. So I clip that on, strap it through the daisy chain, keep it from flopping around. Got all my electrolytes, coffee, and some other things in there. Drink mixes. That is my boo-boo kit, first aid kit. I got a hand warmer pack in there, some vitamin I, ibuprofen, some rubber gloves. I think there's a little disposable one-time use thermometer that you can check your temperature if you think you're getting a fever, whatnot. Some Benadryl, tenacious tape to patch whatever, tent, sleeping bag, sleeping pad that also it has some patches already in there, backpack, whatever's kind of whatever. And also some like alcohol wipes in case you get a boo-boo, can clean it up before you cover it up. Into the next pouch, got a little felt pocket here that there's nothing in at the moment. Probably toss my sunglasses in there. Dry bag has my electronics. I've got a flex tail pump. It's not the little black one. It's like the Flow Max 2 or something like that. It's the one with the little lantern on it, which works great. Also rechargeable off my battery banks. Got an Anchor 10,000 in here. I've got a wall plug USB, so if I cruise in to Tramway to get some resupply and just take a break off trail, because that's part of my plan, which is why you'll see later why I'm carrying so much food. I'm carrying right out the gate 8 days worth of food. Personal thing on me. If you know PCT, Tahoe Rim Trail, then you're familiar with the fact that it has multiple trailheads. You can start from all different areas around the lake. And therefore you can get off multiple places, multiple ditch points, go into town, resupply. I am trying to go as far as I possibly can without resupplying. I want to see how far fully loaded I can get without anything. Obviously, I'm not going to try to run myself out of food. That's why I plan on resupplying at Tramway, which is on the southern east end of the lake, roughly halfway, maybe not quite halfway from Tahoe City, where I'll be starting, and running clockwise, because as I hear, that is kind of the non-socialite way, which I'm all good on trail with people and stuff, but I really like being alone. I like solo hiking. I don't mind if I meet the right people and hanging out. Might hang out for a day, maybe two, but then usually I'm trying to skedaddle and stuff. I just like the solitude. I really like my time to myself and just enjoying everything out there. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of a brief shakedown on that scenario. Back to electronics. Also have an Anchor quick charge 3-foot cord, as well as one of these, like I think it's like a 5-in-1 or something like that. Magnetized, goes in half. It's got the USB, USB-C. It's got the whatever, I can't remember what that is. It goes to like Apple stuff. I don't run Apple stuff, but it has it. I have an iPad that I use sometimes, but otherwise then it opens up on this side to go to C to C. Yeah, that thing's pretty sweet. Works really, really well. Been using it for quite some time. And then I have this old school My Charge Adventure that I got. Oh, I want to say it was at Target back in like 2018. I had forgot a battery charger, needed one, so I ran in and they had these. I got this thing for, I want to say like 35 bucks. Very comparable to the Anchor 10,000. This is also 10,000, and it's water resistant, somewhat waterproof. It's got a gasket and that thing flips up. This thing is awesome. It's like bulletproof. I can't find them. I've looked. If anybody knows how to find these, I've done a couple searches and it wasn't this one, the Adventure. But the thing is lighter than the Anchor 10,000. It's got a little clip here. You can put it. It comes with a carabiner. It was cheap. I broke. But you can put a carabiner on there, clip it on and stuff. Freaking awesome. I've had it this long, use it like crazy, and it gives me 2 full charges on my Android. I use a Notebook Plus, the Android, like, what is it, S10 or 10S or something like that, old phone. Works fantastic. I'll never get rid of it. I'm going to use it till it dies. But yeah, so that's electronics. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Sawyer Squeeze. This is the Sawyer Squeeze Mini. It's in a Ziploc bag and a little mesh like drying bag or whatever. Keep it in a Ziploc bag so I can toss it in the foot box, the sleeping bag, so it doesn't freeze. CNOC, Vecto X. That's my dirty bag. Filtering water, that's what I'll scoop up the dirties with. Sunscreen. And this is like an amazing pain relief cream, mentholated, has menthol in it, and I believe some CBD and whatever. You can't buy that at stores. Sorry. A buddy of mine used to make it when he was doing oil extractions and stuff for different companies, doing some white label stuff. He came up with that stuff and it is phenomenal. My wife has chronic pain and that is the only thing other than having to take crappy pain medication that helps. Moving on, Sawyer insect spray for ticks and flies, and the Picardin insect repellent. Stuff works pretty good. I've used it a couple times now, which also for mosquito deterrent, I neglected to get it together yet and put it in my bag. I just reminded myself I'm going to be trying something out and I will share with you all if it works. Apparently, if you burn coffee grounds, insects, mosquitoes, they just go away. They don't like it, apparently. So saw it somewhere, went, I don't know. I've heard all kinds of hokey pokey things like that before. We're going to give it a whirl. Might as well. I've got spent coffee grounds because if you all know, I'm into my coffee. So we're going to try that and I will let you all know how it goes. If it's myth or fact. So moving into the side pouch here. Recycled vinyl bag that I got from We the People's Holsters. I am not sponsored or affiliated with any of the brands that I mention here. It's just what I use. It's the stuff I have. All tried and true. And I know it works. But yeah, that vinyl bag, I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with that. But I'll save it. And lo and behold, it makes a great dry bag to keep toiletries. Cut off toothbrush, some toothpaste, some hand sanitizer, and some Dr. Bronner's, what is that? Hemp citrus Castile soap for cleaning up. Dirt saw deuce number 2. I just happened to pick that up at REI the other day because I had to get new shoes. Saw it there, was on sale. So I picked it up. I honestly have never, ever in my life used a trowel before. Never found the need for it, but figured, hey, what the hell? It's cheap. If I do end up needing it, I got it. Never used one before, like I said, because I find rocks to roll over. There's holes under rock sticks. Dig a little deeper. Do your business. Pack out the toilet paper and your garbage. Cover it back up with some dirt. Flip the rock back over. Done deal. But that's just what I've done for nearly 30 years. Toilet paper, about a half a roll. And about a dozen individual dude wipes. Cleaning feet in the evening, hands, in case you have one of those days where you just need a little bit more than TP. But that goes back in there so I don't forget. But yeah, that's the toiletries bag. Toss that over there. Said I had to go get new shoes. I just got some more Topo Ultra Ventures. I love these shoes. I haven't even taken the price tag off the bottom of them there yet. And they staple into the bottom of the shoe. That's nice. But anyway, yeah, Topo Ultra Venture 4s. I love them. They're light, the lighter ones, but they have the most cushioning, apparently, out of all the Topos, and I need the cushioning. Socks I'll be rocking. These are by Merrell. Cool. They're a Cool Max. They're like, what, Desert Sunset print or something. I just like them because they're somewhat cushiony, but still very cool. Also, the Injinji toe sock liners. These are just liners. They're not the socks, just liners. As far as the day I'll be going out, my sun hoodie, you've seen me wear it on almost every single video. It is a gray, it's polyblend or whatever. It's by thru-hike. They make great clothing. It's not your typical what you see on these videos with most hikers out and stuff. They're, you know, into all the outdoorsy stuff, which is great. I am too. But this is literally like half the price of most of that. Although, yes, it's not merino wool. It is a poly blend. But very well built. Thru-hike. Work with E, not an O. Clothes, as far as pants, shorts, shirts, jackets, you name it. Their UPF, oh geez, I want to say it's 50, but it might be 30. Shorts is what I hike in. These are brand Legend. They've got the boxer brief style, nice thin liner. I just realized, didn't even know there's a little sneaky pocket right there to hide some chapstick in so it won't fall out. That's pretty sweet. I didn't even notice that until now. Awesome. I've worn these shorts probably half a dozen times at least. But yeah, very lightweight, dry really quickly. That's all I bring for hiking clothes. Yeah, back in to the bags. So that's it on that pouch. The other side pouch over here on this side, Tyvek. I throw it down for tossing if I got to dig through my bag, throw gear out. If it's really like moon dusty, powdery, dirty, I'll try to throw this thing down somewhere to set my pack on and everything. Just keep things a little bit cleaner. It goes underneath my tent when I set my tent up. It's just all around good, useful. I can toss it over my bag if it starts sprinkling, just quick on top, keeps it dry. That's that, and that is all that's in that pouch. We went through those. All right, now we're going to dive into the main pocket here, the main body. Oh, on the outside I have a pack towel that I've cut in half. The other half's in the van as a kitchen towel, but I have that just clipped onto my strap there. I've got a cheap Amazon find. It's like a tactical water bottle holder. Wasn't sure if the mic was, I covered it, but anyway, it's pretty sweet. It holds the bottle just fine. It's got a little elastic band in there to go over the neck so it doesn't fall out if you choose to use that. And then it kind of zips closed if you're not using it and you have a little stuff pouch, stick garbage or whatever. Directly behind that, it zips open and just fits my phone perfectly with a slim case. If you got one of those big bulky cases, OtterBox or anything like that, not gonna fit. Got to stay slim, but it fits there. On the top here, I've got some Ranger beads that I made a while back and a little emergency whistle. as well as I threw in, I forgot I threw those in. These are survival tabs. I'll throw a little picture right up here of the bottle. But yeah, 12 of those get you through one day, 1 tab per hour. These are strawberry flavored. They're actually pretty good. They taste like strawberry quick. And it's a 240 calories, I believe, something like that. But yeah, I have those in there just in case I just want some quick energy, or, you know, for backup, just in case. It's good to have. And they don't weigh anything, so get in here. Very top of the pack. This is a new tent, trekking pole tent. It is a 2-person. It weighs 2 pounds without the tent stakes. By NatureLink, find on Amazon. I really just wanted to cut my weight down. I've got an old Sierra Design and an old REI 2-man tent. Both of them are, if they're not 5 pounds, they're super close. So yeah, I wanted to try this out. I did my first trip was the searching for a gym in the Lost Sierra video, a couple videos back. That was the first trip. Did a couple nights in it. Loved it. It worked out great. We got some pretty high winds up there on the second night, and this thing was, it worked awesome. But yeah, it's just your typical. The nice thing about this tent also that I like is that you set up the fly and the inner part of it hangs off of that. So you can leave it set up hanging on there. You don't have to do a separate deal. So if it's raining or whatnot, if you don't need the bug net, you just need like a sun shelter or whatever, you can do it that way. Yeah, it's got some really cool different aspects. Maybe we'll do a run through on that later in a future episode. Sleeping pad is what's next in there. I got the Flextail Zero. It's rated 5.6 R value. This thing, what a dream. Being a little older, I like light comfort. Yeah, it's a bit heavy. It's like 2 pounds, same as the tent. But man, it is so comfortable. It's the square one, and it's what, 3.5 inches thick or close to that, I believe, blown up. And man, it warm and cozy. I slept so good on it. Next, in a little spot to fill in a gap, old North Face puffy that I got for cheap so I can have it out on trail and destroy it and not really care. Got it off of eBay a while back. Yeah. And then for cooking, I use the Jetboil. I think this one is called the Flash. I think most people use it for coffee. I like because it's tall and thin, and it has everything. I have another little strap around it to hold it shut, and for an extra strap in case I got to strap stuff down. But yeah, it's just, I got a bandana in the bottom of it to grab stuff. It's insulated, measuring. Yeah, fuel in there. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then what do we got? Another dry bag. And these are just cheap dry bags. They work. They're great, but they're like super cheap. Extra clothes is in this one. I've got my merino wool, smart wool hoodie for the evenings. If it's chill or if it gets cold, it might get cold at night. I'll be sleeping at around 9,000, 10,000 foot elevation on some nights. So it might get a little bit chilly. Not expecting anything crazy. Days will be warm. Carry an extra pair of hiking socks and liners with me. I just always do. I threw in a pair of boxer briefs. just because, in case, like I said, it does get hot in the evenings, I'm not dying. I got something clean to put on other than my shorts because my sleeping bag is a 15-degree bag. It's an older, I'll get it out here in a bit, but it's an older REI. think the model was like Mojave or something like that. But it's 15-degree bag. For rain gear, it's the Sierras. You just never know. Well, a week and a half ago, they were having crazy 60, 70 mile an hour winds and thunderstorms, and Tahoe was on watch for the lake, and boats were getting tossed everywhere. But yeah, rain gear. I've got some old Sierra design pants wrapped up in a one-wind poncho emergency shelter. I love this thing. I actually have camped just with this. It takes one trekking pole to hold it out. Comes with its own tent stakes that I threw in the tent. But yeah, it just doesn't have mesh. So if there's bugs around, you got to like have, you're just basically cowboy camping with that as kind of to keep wind off of you, or if you're worried it's going to sprinkle or something. But it's awesome, and it weighs like next to nothing and is big as the jet boil. I carry that in my day pack too, because being a poncho, I can toss it on and it covers my backpack. It does go super low, like mid shin. So unless it's really dumping, you're not going to worry about getting your legs all wet. Next is, the girth, the weight, the gnarliness of the bear can. That is chock full of food, and I'll go ahead and cut to that. Getting the meal prep ready for the TRT through hike. Right now I got 7 days worth of food lined out, averaging 1,300 calories a day. Breakfast, lunches, and dinners, and then a bunch of snacks there on the end. Some sausage sticks and pepperoni packages, some planter peanuts, quart-size Ziploc with random assortment of flavors of Element for electrolytes, 11 days of Black Rifle Coffee Company Just Black instant coffees, tossed a couple emergency turmeric and ginger packets in there in case you get a little belly ache, and then some emergency Energy Plus with caffeine, blueberry acai. And then we've got day one when we head out. That'll go in a gallon Ziploc, top of the pack. We'll pull from that out of day one. The other 7 days, we shall see if I can fit all of that into this bear can. All right, and there you have it. We got the bear can stuffed with 7 days worth of food, a couple extra little snacks in there, and then there's day one that'll go in the top of the pack. Not too shabby. So as you saw, I got all 7 days plus a bunch of snacks shoved into this bad boy. This is the Bear Vault 475. So it's not the largest one. It's the size down that they finally came out with. It's been a little while, I guess now, but between the 450 and the 500, because the 450 is just a little too small, and the 500 is just, it's just too much. I mean, unless you're just really needing to go out for days and days and days. But yeah, 7 days worth of food and snacks in here. The grand total on this food canister, which the Bear Vault is about 2 pounds, 15 pounds. So I've got 13 pounds of food in this thing. But like I said, I'm trying to not come off trail. We'll see how that works out. It's going to be, let's just mess around and find out kind of a thing. It's just something I want to do. Some people might think it's ridiculous. That's your deal, and you do things how you do things. Hike your own hike. But yeah, I'm just gonna push it. Then next, we'll get back on that subject as far as weight. But the last but not least, the sleeping bag. 15-degree bag, as I said. REI. Once again, I believe it's the Mojave is what it was called. So this thing I either bought the same time as the backpack or shortly after. So it's pushing 20 years old and it's still rocking. I take pretty good care of my stuff. Pretty much always have taken clean clothes, which are in here. They don't come out of here. They stay in here so they don't get dirty. So I got clean stuff to get my sleeping bag with. I've got a pair of Darn Tough socks in there. I've got some leggings. Realtree probably is the brand. They work. They're comfortable. They're nice. Patagonia Calpine, midweight shirt, and my pillow is in there. I got it off of Sierra. It's like called the Cocoon or something like that, or the brand's Cocoon. I can't remember. It was cheap too, but it works. It's nice. It's got one side is very similar to the puffy material, so it's nice and cool on one side, and the other side of it is fleece. So you can, if you need warmth, fleece side, need the coolness, it's got a cool side to it as well. But yeah, that's the sleeping bag, and that goes in the very bottom to keep some cushioning down around the lumbar area. This pack, old school pack, is, I think it's right around 5 pounds. Like I said, if it's not 5 pounds, it's just under, like my old 2-man tents were. So all in all, everything weighed out all together. I weighed this pack out fully packed with everything you see here, plus 2 liters of water. I was at 34 pounds. I know it sounds heavy, but I'm carrying a lot of food, and 1 liter of water is just over 2 pounds. That being said, if I were to cut out the 15 pounds plus the water weight, so 17 pounds off the 34. Let me do the math there. So I'm under 18 pound base weight, probably closer to 17. It's going to be a little bit gnarly, with the fact that there are 2 sections that there is little to no water for. I believe one section is right around 11 miles. And then I do believe that there is a 17 miler where there may not be water. So I will be having the issue of water carry, adding some weight. So I'll be adding another 4 pounds. Yes, 4 pounds. So 2 more liters in the CNOC. So there will be times where I will be carrying still the 34 or close to 36. I'm hoping to get enough food down. If I'm hungry, I'm not forcing myself to eat. But yeah, it'll be a couple sections, I believe. From Brockway is one of them, so that's gonna be probably day 2. I'm attempting to get to an area called Picnic Rock, which is past Brockway the first day. So a lot of weight and a big push on the first day. I think that's 22 miles right out the gate. We'll see how it goes. I've given myself 14 days to do the trip. Usually most people, it sounds like it's around 10. If you're really huffing, you can go faster, which you're in the ultralight thing there, which it's cool, but hey, to each their own. I really just like to enjoy my time out there. And I might do some side quests. We'll see how it pans out. But, oh, and I am wearing these. These are going to be camp shoes. They're the Zero Shoes Z-Trail EV sandals. They're 5.4 ounces a piece. So lightweight, and I love them. They're great. I've hiked short distances in them, like day hiking and stuff. They're so far been phenomenal. But yeah, that's the shakedown, folks. That's all of it. That's what I'll be toting with me. I hope you all join along and check out my adventure on the Tahoe Rim Trail, 165-mile trail with what I will be doing towards Tramway adds on about 2 miles. So we're going to be around 167 to 170 as far as mileage goes. And we're going to see how it works out. I am tossing around the harebrained idea, which you all should know if you've been tuned in. That's what happens around here. I don't really make indefinite plans. I get an idea, run with it, go for it, kind of plan out a little bit, but I keep myself open to things just because things change. You never know what's going to happen. The trail kind of determines what you're going to do. But I've been tossing around this harebrained idea that if I get the trail done fairly quickly, like around the 10-day mark, I may just resupply in Tahoe City because that's where I'm starting and I will end. And then I can cruise back up, connect onto the PCT, because the PCT and Tahoe Rim Trail run together for roughly 50 miles. Jumping back on the PCT and heading north, back towards home. I'm not sure of the mileage. I might hopefully run into a couple PCT people while I'm out there and see what the mileage from Tahoe Rim to Donner is. But from Donner on Highway 80, Donner Pass on Highway 80 to Sierra City is right around 38 miles. And that would get me super close to home, and Miss Meander doesn't have to drive so far to pick me up since she's already driving out there to drop me off early in the morning on her day off work. But yeah, that's a possibility. We'll keep it in mind, and we'll talk at you folks later. This ended up being a little longer than I thought, but thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and hey, give me a thumbs up if you're going to plan on watching my adventure doing the thru hike. I may try to do a daily video update. I may just kind of set things out after I get back. I don't know. It's like I said, everything's open, everything's up in the air, just to whatever happens. All right, folks, appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you on the next episode. Hope to see you there. Take care, y'all. All right. Get out there and meander. We'll see you on the trail.